As always, this meeting is being broadcast live, I think, and definitely,
Hey, Senator, how are you?
hello, and definitely digitally recorded. Hello. So, open session. Anyone here from open session? Hey, come on in.
Just walked in. Real quick. The planning board is going to have Mr. Hum from Massachusetts Regional Planning. They're coming. We're going to be starting the economic development package on the 6th of September at our regular meeting, and it's going to be right at 6:30. So we're going to be starting the process, and I just wanted to let you guys know that we're starting that, and it'd be good if you want to participate. We really want you to participate.
Mm-hmm.
So it's real important.
As long as 6 will be the first.
Yeah, yeah, so at our regular meeting, this regular planning board meeting.
Okay.
And we told them we'd get them in here,
9/6.
9/6. We're gonna get them in first thing at 6:30, so,
Okay.
but I think it'd be real important, hi Tom, to, if you guys wanna participate in it. I think. That's all.
Okay, great,
Okay.
thanks. Anyone else here for open session? No? Okay, well, I guess, want to get us started, Brian?
Yeah, number 3, wage authorizations. We have one for Travis Brown and one for Eric Willoughby. The Eric Willoughby is not a change in pay, it's just a change in status.
Okay. Negotiations went well?
I'm sorry, yes, they went very well.
Okay.
So just a motion to approve the wage authorizations as they are, or is there a waiting period or anything like that?
No, I think you're all set.
Okay, can we do them both at the same time,
I
or
think you
one?
can.
Okay, I make a motion to accept the wage authorization appointments, Travis Brown and Eric Willoughby.
I'll second that.
Discussion? All in favor?
Yes.
Yes. All right, item 4, Town Administrator Search Committee.
I sent you electronically, and I have copies for you tonight
Yep.
of the, okay, then you have the, both a copy of the calendar and a copy of the recommended names. And you have the complete list, right, all 9 names, is that correct? Not the one that said, we were awaiting some confirmations, but if you have 9 names, you're all
Yep.
set. So
We've got 9, yep.
those would be my recommendations for the 9 seats.
I think it looks great.
So do we have to appoint these people, or?
Yeah, I'm frankly not sure who the appointment process is, and I really it doesn't bother me at all. So if it's mine, that's fine. If it's yours, that's fine. But be it safe, let's just have it be your vote.
Okay. Tom?
Could you read the names?
Sure. Jamie Pitney, Public at Large, 5 seats. Jamie Pitney, Marianne DePinto, Matt Castriata, Sanda Barry, Mary Ellen Shaughnessy. Government Staff, 4 seats. Nina Narzarian, Princeton Town Administrator.
Good job.
Bob Hayes, Fire Chief. Bob Fort, HPD Sergeant. And Joyce Green, Town Clerk. Solid group.
So I'll make a motion to appoint the Town Administrator Search Committee as presented.
I'll second that.
Discussion? All in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Thanks for keeping us on schedule, Brian.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you for confirming those appointments. We did give you a calendar that should get you through this process by somewhere at the end of January, beginning of February. Again, you have 3 major holidays kind of in the mix,
Yeah.
and so it's going to be difficult to meet that schedule, but we're going to try.
Understood. Thank you. Shall we keep going?
Sure.
We recently received the, item 5 is the open meeting law complaints. The findings from the Office of the Attorney General regarding 2 complaints. One of them to the Board of Selectmen, I think the other one to the Board of Health. And they were both similarly written to find that there was no open meeting law violations. And, you know, it's sort of a long process that we're sort of happy is over now. So, I guess that's that. Committee updates, Building Committee. So I asked for an update the other day, and we're gonna have a meeting on September 9th. This week, the architect is supposed to be finalizing his revisions and the value engineering that was done to reduce the cost from our first bid that we got, the only single bid $1 million higher than we expected. So September 1st is tentative, and that'll sort of get the ball rolling again so that we can get it, so that we've got the bidding process in place and a bid in place for town meeting in the fall, for a vote for the town. QRSD task force, we met last week, right? Sort of a little subcommittee sort of meeting, as we develop and finalize our plans for spending the $100,000 grant that we received. And I think it went really, really well. This Wednesday, we have a task force meeting to bring our sort of recommendations on who to use as a facilitator / expert for that to the task force for a vote. So that's where that stands. Town Center Committee, I asked for an update the other day from TEC, our engineers, and we have our next scheduled meeting the third Thursday, I think, in September, and they're going to be bringing their preliminary findings and survey work and all that sort of stuff that they've done to the 25% design. So they're currently spending, that first $75,000 that we allocated above the $20,000 that we had allocated for the schematic design, and they, really, really interested to see it. We're going to do another public forum like we did last time, eventually, once we're able to sort of see what they were able to show. But what we tasked them with is, like this, anybody can draw a plan and redo Main Street as it is. We identified during our public forum and our million meetings from town center committees, we have safety issues, we have all these things that we want you to address. Think outside the box. Don't just put it right back where it is. And you never know what's going to happen, but overall that's been their directive and they've embraced it. And then bylaw review committee has not met yet. Okay. So you want to
Charter review, I wanted to pass along, I had asked the town council to review the ways that a town charter could get changed. He sent, I think in 2 different emails, information as to how that process takes place. I again included copies in your, should have in your packet tonight, how that process works, and so the board should review that, and then over the next month or so, take a look and decide how it is you want, if you want to establish a committee, or you want to bring the motion forward on your own. It doesn't necessarily require a committee. And it doesn't require a very elaborate process. You can do all of it outside of it. However, you build buy-in and momentum if you probably to a greater extent if you have a committee.
I was thinking about this, and I think it would be a good idea for whether it be tonight or some other time, a select board member to take the lead in this. I know you've sort of been in favor of the review process. I don't know if you'd be interested in sort of taking the lead from the select board standpoint. And that's just in discussions with Brian on how to proceed maybe with a committee and all that sort of thing. So just, I guess, think about it and
I will.
let us know.
Yep.
Okay. All right, we are to charter review?
No,
I mean, I'm
just
sorry,
the
street
street
road
road.
repairs?
Yeah, we also sent you, again, went back to council just to look to see that we made sure this will be the first time we take definitive action to actually make repairs on a private way.
Yep.
So we asked for some guidance, and there is a second step, which requires that a letter go out and be signed by, in this case, 100% of the residents, not the more than 50. So they've passed the first threshold, and we did check. They had 61% participation in agreeing to petition the board. Now they need to follow that up with a second level, which would be everyone on the street has to agree that they understand it would be a betterment assessment, and that they agree to maintain those repairs that the town makes. And so it's going to be a bit more daunting, I think, for the homeowners. Again, as I've offered to them on 2 separate occasions, would be happy to sit with them and think about maybe a more comprehensive solution for that road. But in any event, that all starts with getting together, and I'm wondering whether you want them in, we invite them in for the 5th.
Yeah, I mean, they're serious, right? I think we give our support in whatever, capacity we can, so yeah, definitely.
Okay.
How many were there roughly, that were anti to this?
Well, there was, this one doesn't record that. See, the first vote just said as long as you get more than 51% saying yes, so they had 61% of the homeowners agree. But this next time, if you don't send it back, it's not only a no, or presumed to be a no, it means it doesn't go forward past
Right.
that. So it's a bit more daunting for the homeowners. So again, I think some communication and maybe a different approach might be in their long-term best interest.
Okay. Okay. Now, your report, your town administrator report?
Have it. The arbitration with Ernest Newcomb, the arbitrator's hearing regarding that appeal has been recessed to allow the parties to reach a negotiated agreement, and work to that end continues. The Quabbin Task Force, as the chairman mentioned, we met last Wednesday to discuss possible vendors for a facilitation study, and we appreciate that $100,000 grant certainly mightily. And I'll be, I think, attending with you on Wednesday
Okay.
night to go to Quabbin.
Hubbardston's the lead, because we're the ones who sort of led the effort for not only this grant, but the previous grant as well. So there's gonna be some reconfiguration of the task force, I think, that makes things go a little bit more sort of logically through the town of Hubbardston. So we'll have an update next meeting.
Okay, and then the last two items I've already touched on, the street and road repairs and the next ceremony. We're still awaiting, I think, Representative Bertheum.
No, he's here.
Okay, then, sorry. We haven't met, so I am
We
fine.
have, I apologize.
So, we are ready. We can switch to the swearing in ceremony. Joyce is here, and I think we need to get one more person. So I see 1, 2, 3, 4. Joyce, I don't know how do you stage this?
How do I? Well, let's see, I guess we could have them all stand up here, maybe, and,
I think so. Maybe against the.
do you have anything you're gonna say first? Do you want me to swear in first?
Dan has a statement he's gonna read,
I'm gonna read.
so, but
Okay.
we should get them up, I think, too. So-
Yeah.
I think we should.
All right. If you are being
It's a
sworn in,
big night,
please.
and what the heck, we don't have to do it, so.
Yeah.
Four of them here, Sandy,
Travis.
Lori,
So just back up a little, adjust the benches.
Well, maybe we could bring Representative Bertheum and Senator Goby up as well. I'm not getting sworn into anything, but they certainly can come up and just add some.
They're important.
I'm not
They're
swearing
important.
anything.
We get sworn at, not sworn in.
Go ahead.
Oh, well, that's all right.
So, Dan, did you want to?
Yeah, I do. Well, so first and foremost, I need to lead off by thanking Brian. We don't have that many employees in town. To have this many standing up at the same time means that, we were pretty much in a crisis. So Brian, we thank you so much for all the work you've done putting this together and getting us right in the ship again.
Entirely welcome.
Okay. So, anyway, I'm going to just read a little something here. Town of Hubbardston has recently experienced a good deal of turnover in management positions, and concerns have been raised in the community regarding the stability of municipal operation. This following a devastating loss of confidence with the financial mismanagement of the tax collector's office compels us to demonstrate that in fact the town's management is strong, and that while good people have recently left, a new and talented team is taking their place. Our goal on Monday night then is to welcome the new managers and introduce them to the community. They are Ms. Sandra Nason, Treasurer Collector, Sandy. Hi, Sandy. Sandy comes to us after having 15 years of municipal experience with the town of Holden, 7 as principal supervisory clerk in the tax assessor's office, and the last 8 as assistant tax collector. She has attained certification as a tax collector from the Massachusetts Treasurer Collector Association and is well on her way to certification as a municipal treasurer. Sandy is a talented individual and a Hubbardston resident. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Next, Genevieve Daniels, financial assistant. Hello.
Hi.
Identify yourself. Genevieve originally started in the tax assessor's office, where she now splits duty with service in the tax collector's office. As financial assistant, she will be primary customer interface at the collection window and will also assist with processing payments and computer operations. A lot of FaceTime. Next is Travis Brown, Director of Public Works. Hey, Trav. Travis comes to us from within the department, serving as lead mechanic and team leader, where he was second in command when the director was called away. He has achieved a significant number of work-related certifications and licenses and had participated in the writing of many of the town's recent successful grant applications. Travis has over 17 years of increasingly responsible experience in working with the repair and maintenance of heavy machinery and public construction operations, and has been our interim DPW director for 5 or 6 months, right?
Yes.
All right, well, we told you this last Monday too, but we're real happy to have you along. And then last and not least is Lori Reed, Executive Administrative Assistant. Hey, Lori. Lori comes to us from a background in human resources and the insurance fields, experience that will serve her well in her new position with the town. As the Executive Administrative Assistant, she will serve as the town's contact point for new employee processing and will manage both property and casualty and workers' compensation insurance issues. The town of Hubbardston wishes our former team members well in their new pursuits, but we also want town residents to know that there's a new team in place with new skills and energy to serve them.
You want to all raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, and state your name,
I,
Travis do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
to faithfully and impartially
to faithfully and impartially
perform the duties imposed upon me
to perform the duties imposed upon me
by my appointment as
by appointment as
DPW director.
assistant.
One more time.
by your appointment as, state your office,
DPW director.
okay? And Lori.
Executive Administrative Assistant.
All right, thank you. For the town of Hubbardston,
For the town of Hubbardston.
according to the laws of the Commonwealth.
According to the laws of the Commonwealth.
Thank you.
Thank
Right.
you.
Great.
Excellent, thank you. Well done, congratulations. And it's nice to see Brian back, isn't it?
Yes.
You know, it's like the Hotel California in Hubbardston, Brian, you can never leave, man. We're happy to have you back. It's nice, because those of us who worked with Brian before, we know, as you already mentioned it, you know, that steady hand and writing on the ship, there's no question. And it's nice to have you back here. And thank you, because, you know, like Dan read, we know that it's been kind of turbulent, it's been tough for the community. And, you know, the community looks to the Board of Selectmen, they look to the town administrator, but they certainly look to the first people that they see when they come in to the town to do any town business. And this is what they're looking at, you know, are they picking up the phone to Travis to talk about, you know, a pothole on the street, whatever it might be. But it's you that, and we know that too, you know, Donnie and I have it easy, because all the tough work gets done here. And if it doesn't get settled with you folks, it gets settled right here. So we very rarely have to hear anything, which is great, so keep up the good like that. But seriously, thank you for doing this, because it's not easy putting yourself out there, because you open yourself up to a lot too, right? And I think you're coming in at a time that there's gonna be a lot of scrutiny, and that comes with it, right? That comes with it, but you are absolutely up to the task, and we're thrilled, and I was really glad to have been invited to be able to say, to welcome you, to thank you, and just to let you know if I can be of any assistance. I'll make sure I leave cards with you, but, you know, feel free to give me a ring anytime. So thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations, and it is a big step, and you will be scrutinized, but it's not that bad. You'll be okay. And I haven't met Brian, but I've heard so many good things about you. So congratulations to the board and everybody here for taking this step after the turmoil. So this is a good step in the right direction. So thank you.
And this really shows a lot for you guys to come
Yes.
tonight. You know, little Hubbardston, I know you sort of say it like that, but this is a big deal for us, so we really appreciate you coming.
Anytime.
Anytime. Happy to be here. Thank you.
All right.
Congratulations
Thank
again.
you.
Guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, absolutely.
You guys can do this.
Thanks. And then, the thing that says district number.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Tom, no, I know. I know.
He's good. He's one of the better ones. He's nice to see something. Yes, it is immature. That's the big word. It's not because of his age, because I got one.
We're moving right through it.
Thank you.
No, hey, this was such a good idea, Brian. Thanks for coming
Thanks,
out.
I'm really pleased that worked out.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm sorry, Alan. Where is Alan? Did he go?
Yeah.
Oh, Alan, don't leave. I,
You're getting sworn in for something.
Alan, apparently this wording isn't large
Say
enough for
thanks a
me to
lot.
read.
See you, Don.
Alan was on our DPW selection committee, and he did a terrific job, came to all of our meetings, great valuable input as a DPW director. We very much appreciate his judgment and his skill, and thank him for that service, so thank you, Alan.
Thanks a lot.
It was a pleasure helping you.
Thank you,
Yeah,
we appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Alan.
You're welcome.
Good to see you,
Thank you,
Alan.
Brian.
Yeah,
Good to see you again. I'm sure we'll be working
I
together.
think so.
Thank you.
I can't find the minutes that are on here, do we have?
You can watch stuff on YouTube tonight.
I know.
Okay, we're moving right along.
Yeah, a little faster than we expected.
Yeah, but so be it. So we got some minutes to approve?
I don't see them.
I don't see them in here, though.
Did I not give them to you? I sent them, I didn't give them to you.
Yeah.
I can get them for you.
No, I mean, I reviewed it. If you guys, have you guys reviewed them? We were all here.
Okay.
Where were you all?
Yes, yeah, no, Jeff Williams was not.
Okay,
Jamie was.
All right, well then you probably
We
don't have,
can't.
let's just hold off.
you'll have to hold
I'll
on.
put them on a next meeting.
Yep.
Sounds good. Old business. Anybody have anything they want to rekindle?
No, not really.
You're gonna need to go into recess then, because we have an attorney coming, he's not here yet, so.
I understand. Well, before we do that, might as well, because we have an executive session item tonight, and we have the attorneys coming from court, so we're not exactly sure what time they're gonna come, or attorney, maybe just singular. But our plan would be to not come back into open session, so I suppose right now, we'll
Well,
go.
do you wanna read or have me read the reason we're going in? Because it
Yeah.
might help folks understand what we're doing.
Yeah, go ahead.
The executive session is pursuant to General Laws 30A, Section 21A3, to discuss strategy with respect to litigation if an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the litigating position of the public body, and the chair so declares.
That would be Dan.
Need you.
I declare.
Thank you. Specifically, the board are going to executive session to discuss the matter of the town of Hubbardston versus Cynthia Washburn Doan, Worcester Superior Court Case WOCV 2017-0854D.
4-5.
4-5, I'm sorry. It looked like it. Dyslexia slipping in. And the chair declares that having such discussions in open session would have a detrimental effect on the town's litigating position. I just didn't want anybody to wonder what it was we were gonna do in
Sure.
executive session.
And although obviously we're going to executive session for a reason, this is in response to, through our attorneys, filed a number of different we've gone over that at the
We
previous
have
meetings.
motions and they've responded with
Correct.
settlement offers, so.
Correct. So that's what we're going to talk about. So, again, since we're not gonna be coming back into open session after executive session, I will open the floor again to any public and press question and answers. Tom?
I know it's early yet, but has there been a date established for the closing of the warrants for the fall meeting?
No, there
We haven't
hasn't. In
talked about
fact,
it.
it's a great question. I think it's dependent on the bids, is it not?
Yeah, I think you gotta let that next, building committee meeting happen, because there's a number of different, pieces and parts that sort of need to be in the same
It wasn't
room.
like October 1st or something?
You know, my understanding was it was gonna be, I have penciled in on my calendar. I didn't do it
Yeah.
because I wasn't here, but it was the 24th of October.
Oh, maybe.
To close or the meeting?
No, to have the meeting.
Yes,
Oh,
the meeting.
So it may well be that it was gonna close in the first week
We
of
didn't
October.
really talk
but-
about that.
but
We just sort of
still-
picked a meeting,
We still need the bids, I think, before you know whether you're even gonna have it,
definitely.
so.
So, but again, we haven't met in months, so September 1st is our next tentative meeting. Here at 8 a.m., I think, Friday, 8 a.m.
But right now, the tentative date is around the.
Beginning of October.
No, the meeting,
Yes, October 24th, I believe we'd have to go back to the building committee minutes, because we sort of backed into it and when it was gonna all sort of work out from what the bidding laws are and how long you have to give and blah, blah, blah. We wanted to have another meeting before town meeting to go over the bids, that sort of stuff.
Because we may wanna have some.
I could tell.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I'm here for the library roof.
Yeah, it may well
We're
be
gonna look
that
for
there are
CPC
other
funds.
folks wanting to do other things, and
Yeah.
that's why we wanna get the date out, but we don't have the dates.
Yep. Okay, any other questions?
Can I
Sure.
just get
Yeah,
a leave
yeah.
out for the wage for Travis Brown? Is it changing from what was before?
Yeah, it's a step level, you got that there.
What is it we're looking for?
Travis's new wage rate.
It's the, step 11 grade minimum. It's the it's, not even step 1, it's minimum for that grade.
Yep, and it's 70,000,
427, I think, 86.
427.74.
I'm sorry, 70,427.74?
Yeah,
Okay. But that's weird.
yes, better be.
And I just wanna know if I could get a copy of the calendar. I did get the names of the people that are on the TA search committee.
Sure.
But the calendar, that's.
What calendar?
I don't think there's a calendar.
Not a calendar.
The Town Administrator Search Committee calendar.
Oh, sure, absolutely, of course.
Thank
You recognize that's gonna change.
Yes,
It's got
I will make sure of that.
There's 3 major holidays in there, so it's not gonna stay.
Thank you so much. That's it.
Anybody else have any questions or comments? No?
So you're in recess?
So we're gonna recess while we wait for our attorneys.
We'll stay.
7:30?
But I'm hoping she's.
Talking about the library money.
So we're gonna have to just sit,
Yeah, we can't, right?
because you're in recess. If you adjourn, then you're gonna have to open the meeting.
this thing here that was given to us, it was just for
Information.
information, okay, cause it's done, right?
Yes.
Okay, well, we're back from executive session. Get a motion to adjourn?
Make the motion to adjourn?
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.